So what I did was I switched phones. We'll see if we get a better live feed like that. I'm not sure, guys. If we don't go smooth this time, though, we'll probably just go ahead and continue coverage at home. We had a few ladies come out and they are putting some flowers here. But again, like I said, if we're not smooth on this go around, we will probably just wrap it up. So I'm hoping we got a smooth feed here. I'm on my personal phone. What I was actually doing, which probably wasn't the best of idea, was I was live from my other phone, but I was using the hotspot to go live from that phone. So let me know if we're smoother. I'm gonna move around this time because I'm more confident that we've got a better connection due to the fact that I'm going through the actual phone. So we're gonna take a walk over here, and you guys let me know in the chat if we're smooth. I currently can't see the chat if anybody's saying anything. I don't know if anyone spoke yet. Everything's visible, so we're up and good. I'm looking on stream right now to see if my feed is good, and I'll go from there. Even if it's not clear, I don't care. I just want to for everyone to be able to hear me and be able to see, little movements. But it looks to me like we're still dealing with the same thing for whatever reason. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting a decent connection, but can anybody hear me in the chat right now? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. If you can, we'll take a walk over here. Well, let's see if anything changes here. Because I'm looking on my stream right now and I'm seeing that we're still buffering and nothing's coming through clear. I'm not even getting a connection as far as being able to see what is even going on. As far as being able to see what is even going on. As far as being able to see what can hear you? Okay. All right. So I'm moving forward, guys. We're going to hope that this connection stands. And we'll take a look at that court. Got somebody coming here. So there's that court everybody keeps talking about, and they're questioning whether or not I should report it. I'm on the same page with you guys, so maybe we should. This is clear. Oh, man, we got to use my phone more often. Ooh, that looks really good. Oh, man, looks like we got something here. Looks like somebody's pulling up here right over there. Not too sure what's going on, but these guys came to put some flowers here. Oh, she's walking in the yard. Oh, no. Can you find it on the other side? Yes, I can. However, that other side, there is no other side. What do you mean on the other side? It's in the ground both ways. So if you look where my finger's at, right there, it's going in the ground. And then right over here, it's going in the ground on that side. So really odd, guys. Really, really odd. I'm not too sure what that's about either. These girls passed by earlier. I think we got a stable connection this time, guys. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good this time. So I think we can move around without anything happening this time. Yeah. You guys live in the neighborhood? No. You guys know the story though? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sad.
I didn't even realize that it was in this neighborhood though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you guys think? You think it was targeted, or you think it was?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I feel like it doesn't make any sense though either. So
to take a 84-year-old lady.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So there were some girls passed by. They passed by earlier, and it didn't seem like they wanted to talk too much. So kind of kept questions at a minimum. There it is, guys. If you guys want to see that cord, there it is, though.
Fazer uma coisa melhor aqui, sabia? Se quiser, mas a gente vai ficar aqui, não vai acontecer nada.
Yes, both ends DC are going into the ground. Correct.
O que que tá falando? O que que ele fala?
You guys have any idea what that cord is right there?
No
What do
idea.
you think?
Which one?
There's an orange cord right there, and it's going from in the
Oh,
ground, and then it's
yeah.
coming back
This
here.
is electricity or
Oh,
something
okay.
like
Yeah,
that.
the,
Yeah.
what is that for? I have
Yeah,
no
that,
idea.
yeah, yeah.
What is that
No,
for?
it's in the ground.
I don't know if that was there before.
Mm. Well, I don't know about that. So, ok. Eu acho que é isso aqui. Não pode fazer mais.
É, é difícil.
They're not sure.
Ah lá. Você bota outro.
No, those were a couple girls that were. Oh, the lady here? I don't think so.
Dá grande aqui, não dá não?
Did you guys know Nancy at all? No. Yeah.
We're neighbors.
Neighbors. Oh, they're neighbors. Yeah, so they're neighbors, guys. They're neighbors. They're not. They're not just people just coming by. They're actually live in the neighborhood. I'm not gonna bother them again because I know they don't want to talk too much. That cord is very mind blowing. I'm currently using my phone, so guys, well, actually, never mind. I still can make 911 calls on my other phone. That's the only good service is for. Everyone wanted to see the cord. We'll walk down here real quick because there's a sign. There was a sign down here. I wanted to show you guys that a lot of us come and we have a tendency to turn this sign around. Let's hope we stay clear. If we cut out, we'll just turn right back around. Good evening. Good evening, Elb. I want to say Elb. STF. I don't know how to pronounce that, but good evening. So there's a sign right here, and I've showed it yesterday. I've showed it a couple other times. I'll let y'all read it. If it's coming through clear, I'll check on the stream, make sure we're clear on it. Guys, just before the stream had cut out, you're not gonna believe this, but oh wow, isn't that interesting? Two cars, same cars. So you're not gonna believe this, but just before the stream cut out, a lady drove up to me and she said, "What are you doing here?" And she was in an older white vehicle. I think it was like an older Honda, an old Honda. I want to say a Civic. And she goes, "What are you doing here? Are you paid to be out here? Should you be out here? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you here for?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm here to cover the case that's going on, and I'm currently partnered with YouTube. Other than that, I'm not paid to be out here. I'm not with anyone else." Somebody says, "Watch out for the white SUV." Wow. But it was a Honda Civic. And I'm like, what the? Look, I keep it classy. I'm highly respectful. You're not going to have no ignorancy from me at all. No attitude. I'm a very straightforward guy. But when I'm doing something on a professional level, I'm going to keep it professional. And that's that. You know, I will put my foot down, though, because I definitely Like I said, I'm very straightforward. I'm stern, and I don't really like to bend corners, and I don't like to regret not saying something. So I can definitely cuss you out without cursing you out, and I can definitely get what I want to say out without it sounding like I'm being very disrespectful. Anyways, well, good neighbors here. They came out and put up some flowers here, and they're reorganizing everything too. So that's just got to be grateful to have good neighbors like that. Um, so earlier, we're gonna kind of just recap here. A couple things I wanted to talk about. There were so in that last interview with Savannah, there like I said earlier, she talks about the back doors with an S, plural, as they say. And apparently, the perp that came left the back door open, or doors open. Not only that, there was a base that Nancy keeps her flowers in that were left to keep that back door open to get in the backyard. And that back door is in between the garage and the guest house. So I thought that kind of changed things for me a little bit, just because if there was somebody already in the back and you have the perp in the front, why would you need to leave the back gate pried open by something if there's already somebody back there? So I found that very interesting, and it kind of changed my theory a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, although we're not gonna just switch it up right away just yet. But it is kind of interesting, and it does change things for me just a bit, just because it makes me question whether or not this guy was by himself. And it makes me kind of go back and rethink things, because I almost want to think that he was by himself, if for whatever reason he needed to leave that back door pried open with something. So what do y'all think? What do you think? Do you think he was by himself, or like amongst a lot of us, we think that he wasn't alone? Because I still believe that he wasn't alone. Now, there are two different ways to say that he was alone. Meaning, was he alone here? And the other person that played a part in this was that the driver? And the perp that we saw in surveillance video was the only one that actually came into the home? Or did we have a driver and several perps inside of the home? That's the question that we still don't know. But I almost feel like there's a chance, and I think the biggest question is whether or not he could do this by himself, because again, we know that Nancy weighed 150 pounds. And we also know weight is added to that when a person is dead, and especially when they don't have much mobility. It's even dead weight then, even if they are alive. So there's a lot of questions still that we haven't been able to answer yet, but I believe personally, based on my theory, that, well, for me, I'm 6'4", and 150 pounds for me to throw over my back isn't a lot for me. It's a lot. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot. Let me go back a little bit here. It's a lot, but it's not doable for me. Now, we put adrenaline into play. That gives me a little bit more strength, and I don't think people keep that in mind. And if I have a mission with adrenaline and a sense of urgency to leave, I may be strong enough to take a 150 pound year old lady out. Now, I think, is she going in the yard? What's she doing? Oh God, here we go. Does she not see the signs? Now, I get it, she's a neighbor, but you're not supposed to be in the yard. See, this is why the police had to enforce this place in the beginning. Yeah, I think the cops are gonna come today. I think they are. We got a car that pulled up down the road. What is going on, guys? It's getting real suspicious out here. Why did she go in the yard? And it doesn't look good with a black guy out here either. My goodness. The story's getting real interesting, isn't it? Just joking, guys. You know, I gotta throw a couple jokes in between. Anyways, we do got somebody that parked down the street. She's getting out with a dog. I don't know if she's just parking to come over here and visit the site. We'll see. Looks like she may be coming down. No, she dropped something. Looks like she may be coming down. Is she taking pictures? I think she's taking pictures. Oh, she's taking pictures. Oh, yeah. Well, we can't go in there, guys, but I think, well, I won't. I'm respectful enough not to go in that door, but I think she's taking some pictures if I'm not mistaken. That is so rude. Now she's going to the back. She's going to the back. She's going to the back. Oh, she stopped. She stopped. Oh, we're going to get all up in here. Yeah, taking pictures. Yeah, I think we got a lady coming down over here this way. And she's got some flowers. They're purple flowers, guys. They're purple flowers. They're not speaking English, guys, so we're not going to be able to understand what they're saying. So if you got anybody in the chat that can translate, then feel free. But they are communicating in another language, believe it or not. They said they were neighbors. I don't know. I don't know if I want to believe that, though. I could move it away if you wanted to go put them over there so you're not on camera. If you don't want to be on camera, I don't mind at all.
Not really.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll do a spin around so we don't get you on camera. She didn't want to be on camera. But we're still going to get her on camera. Yeah, so we can get her plate, guys. We can go ahead and get her plate, too. We'll wait till they kind of drive off and we'll get her plate. I already got it, though. Get the tag number. Yeah, we could do that. Oh, that dog just ran over and tried to jump all over that lady. Let's zoom in. Let's get this chance. We got our chance. Get this shot. Get that plate. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay. I think we got it. I can't believe this lady just went into the yard. And she said she's a neighbor. She claimed to be a neighbor. Why would she go in the yard, though? And then it's like almost like she pretended like she was gonna take a picture of the cactus. This cactus right here. Literally, this cactus. Come on, really? Out of all the cactuses we have, what's so great about that cactus? But the fact that she went all the way up to the door just about, well, the door steps, the stairs that lead up to the door, and took a picture was just going too far for me. So this lady brought purple flowers. And we'll get a glance at them in a second. They're over there chatting. We'll go a little closer, guys. Bring my tripod down a little bit. I'm having a tough time holding it. I got gnats all over me. I don't care at all. Yeah, day 60, guys. I think we just stepped into month 3. I think we have just stepped into month 3. Yes. You think they'll find the perp?
I'm hoping.
I know.
I'm very uneasy until they do.
I know. I'm the same way. I'm super obsessed with this whole case. It's been crazy. The stories have been so crazy.
Just I live about 3 miles away, so and being
Same.
a single woman, I'm like, I don't walk her at night anymore.
Yeah.
By myself. I'm always locking my door. I used to just like leave my door unlocked, not take my phone with me to walk her. And now I'm like, lock the door, get the phone.
That's fun. It's been so traumatizing me, and I think it's impacted a lot of us. But yeah, it's been pretty traumatizing to me. I told my viewers, even when I go to the car now, I'm like, I don't even want to go to the car late at night. It's because I'm always thinking about it. Even with my kids, I'll go check on them.
I
it's
have
really,
a 7-year-old.
yeah.
So, and he's actually a little too much invested in this case.
Yeah.
He knows because I
It's hard not to be. It's just it's a crazy story. It really is.
Yeah,
So it's really hard not to be.
Gotta pray about it and hope that get some kind of peace, some kind of resolution, especially for the family.
I know.
Well, you have a good night.
Hey, you too. Thanks for stopping by.
Stay safe.
You too. Nice lady. They really took Mark's basket sign? I don't see it. Yeah, you're probably right. There's still a couple other things over there too. I'm not too sure what his basket looked like exactly, but yeah. There are a couple things that are, several things that are missing because there was a whole lot more flowers than this when I first initially came. So, and then as time went on, it was this whole entire thing right here was pretty much filled, I want to say dang near to down there, if not a little closer to us. But yeah, it definitely, I think a lot of I think, like that neighbor just came, if she's actually a neighbor, they threw some of them out. But as you can see, they've been kind of taking care of it because a lot of these flowers are fresh. There are some that do need to either get water or I'm not good with plants, but some of them do look like they're dying. Country from Georgia, big welcomes. Robin, welcome. Says that the guy saying that he's not a female, he confessed. Huh. What guy was that? I think that sounds really familiar. It really does. Yeah, so you heard her. I mean, she's pretty traumatized like all of us. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie, guys. I know I'm a man and everything, but I definitely have been pretty traumatized from this thing. That guy, I'm not going to lie. If you watch that video too much, you might get spooked out here and there when you see the survey. Oh, yes, I know that guy. I can't pronounce his name, but institution or I don't know, Intuition. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Sleuth? I don't know how to pronounce the name. But I think he just recently came out here to Arizona. I don't know if he came to Tucson, but I did see that he was in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, if somebody confessed, I think it would be breaking news. I don't think that's something that it would go miss for most of us. But yeah, Celeste, you got to be careful. That's why I say be careful with the facts that are presented to you because guys like that, they find somebody and then they present it to their platform they present it on their platform, and then they have us running with this theory or this idea that this may be our guy, and then we're so in tune to it that it's hard for us to let it go and overlook that. So just don't put your nail on something, don't put your finger on something and wrap it around it even if you think that it's the one person that you think it is, because there's a chance that it's not. And you should know that, because in this investigation there's been a lot of suspects that we've had that are potential suspects that turn out to not be suspects. And with every person that we've discovered that we thought that might have been a suspect, they had a lot of features that look exactly dang near identical to the perp in the video. So be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful with some of the speculations and theories that are presented to you, because this is why I say stick to the facts, because you may be wasting time with some of the things that people put out there. So just FYI, be careful with the things that you discover, because you're definitely going to have the wrong information. How many of them are up there? Tammy, big welcomes, by the way. How many of what is up there? Juice, speed up with JLR tomorrow. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. That'd be dope. I don't know if I would have to be invited. I don't want to just meet up with JLR. That would be kind of odd, kind of weird. Sorry, I was kind of chatting away, guys, so I didn't really get to look at the chat while I was chatting away, but there's way too much fake news out there, Robin. Indeed, I agree. There's way too much fake news, so that's why I say just be really careful with the stuff that you do discover, because a lot of times, it's not valid information. He would totally invite you open arms. I know he invited several guys. I saw him go out to eat with several guys. I know one of them was 857. I think Dad's Gone Live went. There was a black guy out here too. I think it was something World. Watching the World, I believe. I think that was one of the guys that went out to eat. Alex was one of them from Criminal Network. Yeah, I saw a lot of those guys go out. They got dinner one night, and they've been pretty much like a little team since then. So, yeah, man, tell them to invite me. I'll definitely be there for sure. I have a lot of time this week, so I would definitely make time for it if I didn't. So that would be cool. We could sit down and have a chat about everything. Hello. All right, guys, we're gonna have a seat for a second because I don't want this connection to mess up. It's been smooth. Now that we know we can get up and move around a little bit. We can do that now. Give me 1 second, guys, to get set up, and I'll be able to kind of read through the chat a little bit. Isn't somebody monitoring those cameras? I think so. Remember, there were cameras put up. Actually, let's take a walk over here real quick. There were some cameras put up, guys. Originally, if you know, Nancy did not have cameras on the outside. The only camera on the outside, I believe, don't quote me on it, but I believe was in the back. And they say it was for the wildlife. There was a camera put up, and it's really not easy to, it's not hard to miss because it was white, and I saw them putting it up. I don't currently see it where we stand here, but there was a white camera. It was white, I remember that, and I don't see it at all anymore. No, I've never saw it, actually. I just saw it on video when I was watching a live, but I don't see the camera at all anymore. She had cameras on the pool facing the backyard. Yes, guy, and that's the only camera outside. And I think there was one more, and I think that was on the guest house. On the guest house. Oh, so there's that garage. I don't see any cameras, guys. I really don't. But I know for sure I saw them putting up cameras at one point in time. I don't know where exactly the placement of those cameras are, though. So I'm not too sure. I really don't know. was looking for, oh, I see it. Okay. So there's the camera. Let's zoom in real quick so you guys can see. See that camera up there? There's the camera. Yeah, and I don't know what the reasoning for the cameras were. I really don't. I would assume the family initiated that. I think the tree's blocking it on this side. Yes, Brian Intent actually got a good look at the backyard earlier today. I want to say it was today. And yeah, that was actually it wasn't the best of views, but it was a nice close view of the back. He got a real good view of the pool. Yeah, so you can see that camera. I can't really put my hand around it. Right there at the tip of my finger. That's the camera that they put up. So, and otherwise you can't really see the camera without walking up to the yard. So, from what I heard though, Nancy did have cameras on the outside or on the inside of the home, which that's one of the things that were very suspicious to me because the fact that the perp knew exactly where the cameras were, and if that we don't know how long the perp spent in the house. However, considering it was a 41-minute window is what they're coming up with, and they're meaning us, because the timeline isn't from the FBI. It's not a real timeline. We just kind of came up with a timeline based on the time that the garage door opened and closed. And then when the pacemaker disconnected, so on and so forth. You know the timeline. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know if he spent 41 minutes in the home. I want to say it could have been longer. It could have been shorter, for all we know. But yeah, and it's crazy how they came up with that timeline to me because I don't understand how they figured out what time the garage door opened. And maybe Maso said there was a time. Maybe he gave them a time. I'm not too sure. Not too sure at all. All right, we're gonna go have a seat real quick. I just wanted to move around a little bit, but we'll go have a seat for just a little minute so I can read the chat because it's hard to read the chat walking around everywhere. I know I've been missing a lot of people's chats here. So now we know how to have a good connection over here and a stable connection, guys. Now we've learned that I have to use my actual device and not hotspot. So if you come over here and you go live, do not use hotspot. It's not gonna work. That's why we know that they didn't use a Wi-Fi jammer. Let me get comfortable here. Nancy loved her home. Yeah, she did. I believe that too because I think Nancy could have easily moved in with Annie or even moved out to New York with Savannah. That's how I know that Nancy loved her home because and the crazy part about it is I know there were people that came and assisted her because of her her lack of mobility. But another thing is like I said, she could have moved in or somebody could have moved in with her. I don't know if Nancy wanted to live alone, but just due to her lack of mobility, the fact that Savannah said that only on a good day she could walk to the mailbox was crazy to me. And it kind of changes your perception a bit because I don't know if I'm going to be comfortable with my mom living at home by herself with very, very minimal mobility. I think that's bad. With the environment that I work in, a lot of people end up in nursing homes or rehab facilities. And it sounds like potentially that's where she could have been headed if she didn't want to live with anybody or nobody wanted to come live with her. I have no idea, but I know they have I know they have the money to have somebody come and visit frequently. So I hope that that's what was going on, because her being left alone is a big high risk for a fall due to lack of mobility. Hard to leave 50-year-old behind and leave your independence. Yes, I agree. Really wish the parking thing was gone so he could do overnight like he was doing. You talking about Dad's Gone Live? She's been here 40 plus years. I don't know about 50, but I heard 40 plus years, Don. I guess there's no difference really. It's 40 or 50 is a lot either way you slice it. I think it's cute he's coming back to Friends. Did they cut the wires for the house for the house guest cameras? The cameras are reachable if they set on to the flower bed bricks. Why didn't they take those? I'm having a hard time understanding that question, but I can't say. I can't say. Have you seen Sue Ellen? I have not seen Sue Ellen. I don't know if she drives a Honda, but there was an older lady who stopped by right now just before the live had ended, and she was questioning why I was here and gave me an ugly look and asked me if I was getting paid to be here or I was sent here by somebody. The camera in the garage, the timer showed the time it was open. Ah. I didn't know that Nancy had a camera in the garage. I know there were cameras inside. However, I didn't know there was one in the garage. I'm missing a lot of chats, so I'm a little lost. I'm kind of going backwards in the chat. I appreciate this a lot. His live's been watching him before this case. Any and all covering Nancy right now is a blessing. Much love, Angay. I think it's Angay. Robin says, I would not live there. It's really peaceful. It really is. You know, it's crazy. The lady that just came right now still hasn't left with, that didn't want to be on film. I don't know why. Maybe she has a friend that lives over here. But she kind of left her car parked there, and I'm interested to see how long it'll be able to stay there without someone coming and her maybe getting a ticket. But the car she's still here. And I don't think anybody's in the car. But she's still here, guys. Interesting. Somewhere. They said that there were cameras inside of the house from what I heard in the beginning of this story. Don't quote me on it. I could be wrong, but they did say that there were cameras in front of the home. Or, I'm sorry, inside the home. Excuse me. Nice little, actually, you know, we'll get a little view of the street too. So I know a lot of people like to see the cars approaching and whatnot. So we'll try to get a decent view of the road as well. Cops will be there soon because of that car. Hey guys, if I missed your chat, feel free to retype that in. I don't know if I'll see it. I can't guarantee it, but I will definitely try to get back to most of the chats here. I'm trying. Can't get to everyone, but I'll definitely try to respond to most people here in the chat. Angay says, the juice, what do you think of the idea that some neighbor in the HOA may have been against Nancy where she wasn't? Just something that has been bugging me with such irate people that live there. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I really don't. I really can't touch up on it because I really don't know. I don't know. Good question though. I don't know. Oh God, what is that? I'm gonna have to kill this, guys. That thing looks real ugly. What is that? Guys, what is this? I'm about to kill that thing. There's no way that thing is gonna be sitting here. Oh, he took off. It just disappeared. I was gonna show you guys. There's a big black old bug with some wings on the back, red wings. Really, really weird. Really weird. I don't know what that was. Anyway, got somebody coming up, walking a dog. A lot of people like to walk their dogs in this neighborhood. You'll notice that. And just take walks as well. Did the perps only take the front door? The front door camera, the press conference did say that there was no forced entry in the house. No, all of the cameras were destroyed. From what I heard, all of the cameras were completely destroyed, guys. So that's what happened with the cameras. Now, from what I heard, he took that Ring camera with him. I don't know if he destroyed the Ring camera. That's why we question whether or not that we maybe would see any footage, after the fact of him taking it. We still yet don't know whether or not they have more footage at all. But I do know that he took that Ring camera. That camera was no longer here whatsoever. Somebody says, looks like it'll be another beautiful sunset. We missed it, guys, because we've been having trouble with this connection and whatnot. We missed it. The sun's already down. I didn't get a chance to get that. But I will be here tomorrow. We'll have plenty of time to get some sunsets. So we'll be out here tomorrow, and we'll see if we're able to get some more sunsets here. Give me a minute, guys. I hope I don't end the stream here, but I got to switch over to... Okay, we're good. All right, that bug's gonna die. I don't know what that is, but he's about to die right now. Get out of here. Give me 1 second, guys. The neighbors won't even talk to the FBI. Makes me wonder, are they head of HOA? There were neighbors that did talk to the FBI. Remember in the beginning, the FBI was going door to door. So I don't know what you mean by them not talking to the FBI, but there were people. There was one neighbor that Brian Enton sat down with, and he had a conversation with her. Hey, Mars, big welcomes, man. Long time no see. I remember you from my gaming days, man. What's up, bro? But Brian Enton sat down with a neighbor, and the neighbor did call the police at one point in time and reported an incident. She did claim she saw a suspicious guy a couple of weeks before the actual day of the kidnapping. So I think it was a couple of weeks. Don't quote me on it. I'm not too sure exactly the time frame, but there were some people who did talk to the FBI, or several neighbors who did talk to the FBI. So, yeah, I don't know what neighbors didn't. I never was a firefighter, Mars, or a detective now. Nah, I never was a firefighter, man. Sue Ellen was snot slockered by 2:28 a.m. the one day she heard nothing. Isn't that crazy how nosy of a neighbor that Sue Ellen is, yet she heard absolutely nothing that night? I find that very interesting and very odd. But I guess there are nights that we are tired and we don't really take the time to you know, be our normal selves. Sometimes we have those nights where we just want to lay it down and, you know, we don't do what we do on a normal night base, you know. So it's easy. A lot of things that happen in this whole thing, all the way down to the neighbors, it's so easy to overthink, guys. Yeah, I was never a firefighter, guys. I wish I was. That would be a good job to have. I don't wish I was because I don't have the desire to be a firefighter, but it would be it would be a good job for sure. HOA is a voluntary. I don't know what you're saying here. I'm trying to catch up in the chat here too. Why do people walk down through there and act like they don't want to be on camera? I don't know. Did they cover their face? Debbie, big welcomes from Texas. Shout out to Texas. Great radio voice. I hear that a lot. You know, when I first started streaming, that's when I learned I had a voice, guys. That's when I actually learned I had a voice. She could be the guilty party just saying there's a possibility. I mean, anything's possible. Anything's on the table right now. You know what I find very interesting, guys? The fact that just wanted to know Alex made it and his mom, and he told me about you last night. Much love. Thanks for stopping by, Lynn Brown. Nancy has to be somewhere. A lot of people believe she's in the neighborhood. I would disagree because I think that the purpose definitely watching a lot of these live streams, and I think we've given him enough ideas to kind of put this thing under the rug more than it already is. And if it were me, you know, like I said before, I would have went to Mexico. Someone thinks she's in the backyard. It's a possibility. Is it Teresa? Teresa thinks she's in the backyard. People think she's 2 miles out. I've heard that theory. Some people think she could be in a fridge, in somebody's freezer, like a deep freezer, in one of the homes nearby. You know, I've also heard the theory that there's a vacant home in the area, several vacant homes or abandoned homes in the area, and the perp used one of those homes to stage this crime. But I could disagree on that. I don't think that the perp would have done that. It doesn't really sound that logical to me, although it's possible, and it's definitely easy to kind of get to kind of run with that theory, you know. I would have to disagree on that though. Jay Wade says yes, I think she's indoors somewhere. A lot of people think she's indoors. Never mind, your mic at your house gives the same voice I'm used to from years ago. Yeah, I think I sound the same on the mic or off. Yeah, I could agree. I was thinking about that yesterday, actually, or listening to the live earlier today. Kenny says, I mean, the lady has a big white dog. It's possible. It is possible, guys. I put nothing past anybody. Even the sheriff. Nanos is one of the highly, is on the top of my list as far as being questionable, as far as suspicion. I really think that Nanos is trying to cover something up, and I feel like he's that type of sheriff that would cover up for his officers or his deputies is how you would probably phrase it. Nanos has done nothing to me in this investigation. You know, what's even more crazy is the fact that we had people coming out to offer help, like the Cajun Navy, and they needed his permission to come out and search, and he didn't respond at all. From what I heard, there was no response. And then, like I said, I've been saying it. They put the one way up here. I think that was his idea. And then we got these signs out here telling people that they can't park here, and if they park here, there'll be a $250 fine. Yeah, I think that was his way of saying, the media's got to go. They got to go. And, I just think that the fact that he's been pretty much declining all of help for the most part has been really, really suspicious to me. And it's not going to do any harm to the case to have somebody come out and do a search. Maybe even along the way, they could even solve another case for all we know, So that's the question for me, that's really, really questionable, because why are you declining all of help? You should be showing the community that you want to do whatever it takes to bring Nancy home, to find this guy who took Nancy, the kidnapper. It's really, really odd to me that he's not showing the world that he wants to do whatever it takes to crack this case. At one point, he wants to be in charge of this thing. The FBI is not in charge. Nanos is leading the way. But at the end of the day, I think we know who's driving the train. I think we know who's in charge here, and that is the FBI. They got the most sources, the best technology, and I can't say that there's some things that Nanos is doing isn't making sense, because we don't know what all is really happening behind the scenes. But I do know that Nanos is not doing everything that he can in this investigation. He's not. Country says, if it was my mom, everyone in Georgia, including family, would be out searching. I agree. And you got to be thankful. Oh, we got somebody pulling up here. And you got to be thankful for all these people coming out here and doing this, because if it were your mom, there probably wouldn't be, and nothing against you, but if it were your mom and my mom or anyone else's mom, 9 times out of 10, this wouldn't even be going the way it's going right now. There wouldn't be this many people. It wouldn't be the biggest story in the world. It would just be a normal day and a normal common thing that happens. And that would be, your mom went missing. And that's it. And no one would probably make the effort to look, like this, but this case is so interesting. I think there's certain things about it that really rolled it into where it's at now. So, but that Savannah did was highly, highly scripted, for sure. No doubt about it. It was scripted. And I only say that because I think somebody hurt, dealing with grief, who's very upset, there's a lot of things that Savannah would really want to say that she just can't say. You can tell it's all controlled. If there's a car passing by. And I say this because I think she not only that, Savannah's just not a famous person. She's a journalist. She understands crime. She understands, what to say and what not to say. She knows how to protect a case when they're, and I don't think that there'll be a lot of things that she'll ever say publicly. I think there'll be many things that'll just go unheard, and we just won't know. We'll just have to kind of hear it from someone else. But hopefully we get that day where she kind of really puts everything out on the table. But so far, I think Savannah has she gave us information. So I can't hold her too much, but she did give us a little bit more, because that's what we've been wanting. We wanted to hear a little bit more, and I've been pointing it out. And the one thing that she did say was that the doors were left open in the back. So she did put a couple other things out there too. So we do appreciate that, and I don't mind the fact that I guess so much that it was scripted, because she does have to protect the case based on what's going on. I don't know if it sits well with me that she didn't come out here and help search, or the family, like Annie, didn't come out and search. The fact that Annie and Tommaso haven't made the effort to speak, there are a lot of questionable things, guys. It's so many. This is what makes this story what it is, I think, though. I mean, and it is so, so difficult not to overthink almost every little thing that you discover in this story. It's very difficult to stick with just the facts and not believe other things that are brought to your mind. It's very difficult. Yeah, we had a woman go on the property and take pictures just about maybe 40 minutes ago, which was very interesting. I may post that a little later on. Big welcomes, Tiger. Shout out to my member Tiger here in the chat. Big welcome, man. Savannah was also a lawyer, yes, and she also has a husband, I believe, who is in that environment. He has a firm, I believe. Yeah, part of me thinks that this will stay unsolved. Strawberry says, I think they know why, and that will never disclose. This will remain unsolved to the public. Part of me says it will, and then part of me says it won't. This guy did everything perfectly, guys. Remember in the beginning, they said this person had perfect grammar, and it really struck me, and I was highly surprised when Savannah said that she believed that the ransom was real. And what about you guys? Does it change for you guys that, that Savannah thinks that the ransom was real? Do you believe that it was real? Because for me, truth doesn't separate, the fact that, oh God, here's this bug again. So I think that the fact that she said that did not change my perception on whether or not I think the ransom was legitimate or not. I still believe the ransom was not legitimate. But a lot of people will go back and say that the first and two letters were legitimate. They think that it was actually real. But my question, I think, would be, like I said, it goes back to when they were saying that the person that wrote this ransom had perfect grammar. He was very smart. If that's so, and that's the truth, then I think it would kind of make sense to say that this person used this ransom to buy himself more time with this whole investigation that's going on. I think he knew it would take them on a whole nother trail and kind of prolong this thing a little bit more and make it difficult for them to stay focused on things that may lead up to finding this guy. But if you think about it, there were no mistakes that he made. There's really no mistakes that we really have besides the genealogy. That may be the one mistake that this perp made. And we can't even say that yet because everything that we thought we had that led us to finding this guy ended up being a dead end. It ended up being a dead end. There have been so many dead ends involved in this case that I'm already convinced that this is going to be another dead end. I have no belief that this genealogy is going to turn things around. I don't. Sorry, but I don't. A lot of people think that this genealogy is going to crack this case. I disagree. Judy, big welcomes, Judy. Judy says, I think the family knows what has happened, and it took me a while to believe this. Yeah, and I think that's another reason why Savannah has to be very careful with the interviews and stuff like that and the things that she says because she might say the wrong thing. A lot of us are questioning Cameron now because he immediately said when because in the interview, Savannah says that Cameron was saying that he believes that it could be a possibility that it's because Savannah's famous, because of what she does. So that's tough, guys. That's tough. I don't know. LP, big welcomes, LP. LP says, please hit the like button. Yes, please do. Indeed. I appreciate that, LP. Don't forget to like if you're enjoying the stream here, guys. Subscribe if you're enjoying the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's really easy. It's free. And stay tuned. Stay tuned. We got more to come. I will probably be live tonight when I get home. So if you want to, come by, stop by, and talk some more, I will be open to that tonight on my live stream at home. It'll definitely be a lot more smoother quality-wise, and we won't have no interruptions with the stream like we did today. But luckily, we're smooth right now, so I can't complain. At one point in time, Hi-Fi, yes, I agree. Hi-Fi says she was trying to get the perp to communicate with them so they could pay him. He didn't communicate after that. I don't think the perp ever communicated at all, to be honest with you. The only time he communicated, if you want to call that communicating, is when, he wrote the ransom letter. And we really can't say whether or not that was actually the perp. Guys, I really wish I had a portable charger, but I don't, and I don't think we're going to have too much life left in my phone pretty soon here, which means I'm going to be out here by myself with no phone and no service whatsoever. Oh, God. It's someone who knows her, the inside of the home, and that area has to be. Yeah, either that or it's someone who told her exactly where everything was at. Remember, they're focused on January 11th. That's one of the dates that they're focused on. I believe January 11th, the 24th. Uh-oh. Got somebody pulling up here. Yeah, so January 11th, and then we got the 24th. I believe, and then the 31st is what they're focused on. So I don't know. Uh-oh. Here comes this lady again, guys. She came by earlier. There she goes again. That's the lady that pulled up on me a second ago and was talking to me and was looking at me, giving me ugly looks. There's a car pulling by here. I don't know what he's stopping for. He didn't roll his window down. I don't think that's Sue Ellen, because Sue Ellen lives behind us in this house up here, I believe, is what I was told. That's Jim's wife? Ah, okay. Didn't Savannah say there was communication saying they didn't know if Nancy's poor health and she was no longer alive? Savannah's last communication was, "We understand." Yeah, I remember that. But and I think that was her making the effort to try to communicate with the perp, though. Let me make sure my ride's coming, guys, because I don't want to be out here with no service and no way to contact my girlfriend. So I want to make sure that I can contact with her. I'm on 10% here too, so give me two. I'm on 10%, so yeah, we're getting really low. This truck's turning around. It's about to get real spooky out here. So let me make sure she's en route. I will make sure tomorrow I get a portable charger, guys, so we won't have this issue again. Because tomorrow I will be out here live. So we'll make sure that we don't go by this issue again. I had to do that real quick. Did she not fit back a bit? I'm not too sure what that means. Yeah, my ride's on the way. We're good, guys. I'm not really worried about being out here by myself but I just want to make sure my ride's on the way because I can't tell my ride to come if my phone's off. Michelle, good night. Thanks so much for stopping by and tuning in tonight, guys. I don't know if my live went off or not. I hope it didn't, but I think we're still good. But I am going to be getting off here pretty soon, guys. So make sure y'all tune in with me tomorrow. I'm sorry, not tomorrow, tonight. Because I will be live, so we'll be able to talk a little bit more, and I'll have more eyes on the chat. It's kind of tough to read the chat. Um, God, I don't know how JRR goes through his chat sometimes, man. His chat is crazy. Just with it moving a little bit, it's tough to read like this. Didn't Savannah just say there was communication saying that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one though, guys. I've had to reread that real quick. I heard of Megyn Kelly today. A man on there, not sure who it was, stated no one is officially cleared until someone is arrested. I agree. And that's a question I had for you guys yesterday. Whether or not, if Nanos were to get recalled, okay, which he's not. I made that clear yesterday because just to put it out there, the rate, the percentage rate with chances of a sheriff getting recalled is at 17%, which is obviously that puts it out there that it's very difficult for a sheriff to get recalled. Not only that, we need 120,000 signatures, okay? We know that with the 100, by the way, the signatures need to be within the Pima County. We have 500,000 people that live in Tucson, but these people, like I said, have to be within the Pima County. And I don't know if we have 500,000 people within the Pima County. However, oh God, why does she drive so close? Does she not want me here? Jesus Christ. She almost ran me over. That's the second time. So anyway, with the signatures, okay, the signatures are not that simple, by the way. You gotta be within the Pima County. We need 120,000. There's a big chance that a lot of these signatures are not going to be valid. So with that being said, if they're not valid, she came and fixed the flowers the other day. She's a cool lady. So we are aware that the signatures are not all going to be valid. So with that being said, we already know that we need more than 120,000 signatures. Not only that, if you do the math, we need about 1,000 signatures per day to get to 120,000 by June. It's saying very bad connection right now. So I just wanted to put that out there that it's a very, very, very low risk that we're going to get him recalled. Not only that, it would take time. We would go to a re-election, and the people that would be considered would be the people that are eligible for an election, and then they would be put in a ballot, and then I believe there would be an election from there. I guess they would. I don't know if that would be. I don't know if they would set a date for an election. I'm not too familiar with everything, but I did kind of read into it a little bit. I'm assuming that they would come up with a date for the re-election, and then it would obviously change from there. But my thing is, say perhaps, let's just pretend we did get a new sheriff. So we get a new sheriff. What changes? Will the family still continue to be cleared? Would we be able to, would this case continue and be left off where it was left off, or would it be, I just don't know exactly how things would go. perhaps we did get, another sheriff. I don't know if he would leave off where Nanos left off and then, obviously add changes to that. No one's here to get me yet, but they're en route. So I don't know, guys. It's really, really questionable to me whether or not, it would even be a good idea. What if we get another sheriff and we're just as not happy as we are now? It's just a very, very, it's a lot to think about. It really is. Guys, I don't know if you guys can still hear me or if we got a connection at all, but my service is saying it's very bad right now. He would pick up where Nanos left off. Yeah, but would the family still be cleared? I mean, because a lot of these we got a lot of former FBI's, former detectives coming out and saying they disagree with, the family being cleared and they shouldn't be cleared. So if this guy thinks the same way, and I would only assume so because majority of people are saying that they shouldn't be cleared, then that would have to change. They would have to go back to not being cleared and being investigated. I don't know. I don't know how that would play out, but there's a lot of questions to be answered if we were, if we did just so happen to get a new sheriff. I may even come back out here tonight. Should I come back out here tonight, chat? Should we charge up and just come back out here? Scary out here though, isn't it? It's really dark, guys. Yeah, I'll tell Lauren. Let's go. Hey, Lauren. Yeah. Hey, we met yesterday. There was a lady out here moving some flowers around. They walked up in the yard. I don't know who they were, though.
What, did she work here?
Two ladies, they spoke a different language. They had like an accent. Yeah, they said that they were neighbors, so I just thought I'd let you know.
Not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
Not unless they have permission from Annie.
Yeah, and I started to report it, but I was like, you know what, maybe not. I don't know if they're really neighbors, so I didn't want to do that. But
It didn't look like they moved much.
So I
no, they were.
and she cleans at night. That's
Oh,
how I
okay,
get up here
okay.
early in the morning.
I'm going to put a tarp over these right now, so I don't have to take them home.
Yeah.
I'll have the front of it
Do you have a
exposed.
tarp?
I have one in the back of the car.
Okay.
I'll put rocks on it just because I don't really want to have to remove it again.
Do you know what that wire is? That orange wire
I know
right there?
everybody's
No,
asking
I
that.
know.
I have no
It's always been there.
It's always been there.
She
huh?
probably uses it for like Christmas lights or something.
Yeah.
In front of the house.
Yeah.
It's always been
Okay. Well, I thought I'd just let y'all know. I didn't want to bother y'all.
I know.
But
I saw somebody post about that on Facebook.
yeah.
What, now they're analyzing for ground? For Christ's sake.
Yeah, everyone's asking, so I was like, maybe they'll
They
know.
eat those. Somebody left some beautiful roses yesterday,
Yeah.
and I put water in them.
And they look
Have a leaf
those
about it.
they're coming. They go through my yard.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, she moved some stuff around over there and right here. Yeah, they went up and took pictures. I don't know what they were doing exactly,
Took
but
pictures of the house?
it took pictures of the front door. I got it on my stream,
know
and then they
it's
took
allowed
pictures
up
of
there.
that cactus right there. So I don't know
And sometimes I call.
what
Yeah,
they were
people are
doing.
not allowed to go up there.
It is like pretty sacred.
I mean, well, plus the fact, it's with the family.
Yeah.
owned it. It's back with the family.
Right.
Yeah.
They got permission.
It was never ours to begin with.
Yeah.
Wait, where are the roses?
I put water in them first of all. No, they're not, I had them leaning right here. They're the big, were taken by the elite, obviously. Because they were fresh, but there was no water in them.
Chat says we love Lauren. They love you.
Huh?
The chat says they love you. We love Lauren. They said. They said thank you, Lauren. Yes. Let's chat from studio. Yeah, we'll chat from studio. I agree. They said not by yourself. Stay safe inside. I agree, guys. Thanks for being honest too.
No, these are,
No, but I'm thinking those two.
these are good, those are
I try to put all that. I consolidate and then I honestly put CASHAPP.
good. Yeah, I got rid of a lot of dead flowers.
So guys, if I disconnect and the stream ends, that's because my phone died. Don't worry, I'll be fine. I'll make sure I do go live tonight just to show everybody I'm safe and I'm good and I made it home safely. So yeah, so no one's hopes are, so no one's worried. You know, I'll make sure I go live tonight, even if I get